Hey friends, welcome into my Makeup Love office. I am going to show you a technique today that I've been watching, been really curious about. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it my best shot. I am going to try underpainting. Now, if you're not sure about this technique, it's something that I've seen recently. A lot of the celebrities and models are using this technique. It's been around before, but it's kind of come back into fashion. And basically what I'm going to do is apply my contour and highlight and all of those layers first, and then apply my foundation. So let me get started. I'm gonna start with a primer. Of course, this is the mattifying primer that I'm gonna start with. It's important to start with a primer, just like you would prime your walls before you paint. You need to prime your face before you apply your makeup. You'll notice I've already got my eyes done. I did that in a separate video. And my lips, actually, I did as well in a separate video. So I'm just doing this as my last layer here. All right, now let's get started with the contour and highlight. I'm gonna use this old, I believe it's retired now, I could be wrong, but this is a contour and highlight stick that Unique used to carry. I wish they carried it again. It's got the contour on this end, it's got the highlight on this end. So I'm gonna start with the contour, and I'm going to go in and I'm just going to add color any place where I want to define my face. I want this part to be like in shadow. I want to make this section recede. I want this to be darker. So I'm just going to be adding a little bit up here at my hairline. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to go back now and I'm going to add highlight in the areas that I want to be highlighted or I want to come out. I'm going to be really careful about getting around my under eye area because that tends to crease or it tends to settle into the fine lines there. And I'm going to use a technique that I showed in my last video, I believe. It's kind of called the instant facelift, where I'm going to start here at my nose and go up and start at the corner of my mouth and go up. I'm going to try to raise those areas up. I'm also going to apply a little bit of highlighter right along here. Right here, and right here. I'll get just a little bit at the edges of my eyes. There we go. Whew. Now you see why they call it painting. I certainly do look painted up. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and use my kabuki brush and I'm gonna start blending this in, starting with the darker spots. And you'll notice this is all done before I start with any foundation. Now, I've always done contouring and highlighting after I applied my foundation. So this is a little bit different technique. I think what this might help with is not over applying foundation because you're gonna already have a lot of color on your face. You're already gonna have a lot of this skin covered. I don't think you're going to want to add a lot more color. We'll see. Now, obviously, this is not something I would do for every day. You know, you've seen my 5-minute video. I do a very simple, no makeup look with my 5-minute video because I don't do a lot of contouring and highlighting like for every day. I mean, let's face it, for every day, I barely wear any makeup. This would be something I would do for maybe a wedding, some sort of special event maybe that I was going to, maybe if I was having pictures done, something like that. I might do a little more contouring and highlighting, but just for the average day, absolutely not. Okay, I think got that pretty well blended in. I'm gonna go ahead and clean my brush really quick with a little spritz of brush cleaner. And that brush cleaner does allow me to use the brush again right away. I don't have to wait on it to dry like I would if I used soap and water. Once a week, I do wash my brushes with Dawn dish soap or a little bit of shampoo and water, and I scrub them out really well, and then I let them sit up to dry. But in between, I do use the brush cleaner, and there I can see it's already nice and clean. So now I'm gonna go back and blend in those highlighted areas. Let me give this a once over in the mirror here. Make sure I don't see any spots that I've left. I don't see any. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use my regular foundation today, since this is something I'd be trying for like a special occasion. For every day, I would probably just use my BB cream for this, but since we're going for something a little more full coverage and something a little fancier, I'm gonna go ahead and use the regular liquid foundation. And I really feel like I don't need a lot. I feel like there's already enough color on my skin that I don't need a lot. And honestly, I don't know, I do really like this. All right, now I'm going to add a little bit of blood. Oh, I was supposed to add this illuminizing. Actually, you know what? I want to use this, a liquid illuminizer, and I should have put this on before my foundation. I think the gal and the video I was watching actually did do that. I'm just gonna make a little puddle here on my hand. This is a cream illuminizer. There you can see, and I'm just going to use a little bit of that. Just blend it with my fingertips. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but that's a nice illuminizer to give you a nice shiny look. Again, I might put a little bit here. And I actually like to go right here on my brow bone and add a little bit. There we go. All right, I got a little bit too much there. Let me wipe that off. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of blush. I'm using the color Stunning, which is a nice bright pink shade. And again, remember, I am applying my blush a little higher than normal. Normally people tell you to put it on the apples of your cheeks, you know, like right here. The only problem is when you do that and you're my age, 58, and you quit smiling, you end up with your blush down here closer to your mouth. So I always go a little bit higher and go up towards my temples for that purpose, because I want it to be a little bit higher than normal. And yes, that looks very bright pink, but don't worry, I'm going back with my kabuki brush now, and I'm gonna blend that in really well. And you can see I did not cover up the luminizer. You can still see it. Next time I'll have to try putting it on under the foundation to see what effect I get with that. I'm always experimenting. I think it's always good to experiment, try new things, see what you think. All right, so there we have it. There is my version of underpainting. I think I really like it. I think for a special occasion, I would probably try this again. Let me know if you try it, what you think. As always, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please give me some follows, likes, shares, loves. I appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, please just pop them in the comments or feel free to message me. Thanks for being here, everyone.